G'day guys, Morezy here, and welcome to the tutorial for my adjustable multi-floor elevator version 2. This design is highly customizable for varying heights between floors, and it's very precise in tweaking the height of each floor. This design focuses on my 3x4 mini-vader elevator and my 2x2 ultimate elevator, which you can see on the screen now. If you check those two out, you can pick which one you like, and this brain section will work for both of those designs. Just a note on the footprint currently is 15 blocks by 17 blocks, 17 being the front side and the back side, and 15 being the other two sides, and it's also 14 blocks down from ground level. So that space is actually not set in stone, because this design, being modular, will expand per floor that you add. So there is a bit of room to move as far as you can actually expand it out in all directions other than up. Of course, you can expand it downwards and from all sides, and that means that the overall footprint is dependent on how many floors you end up choosing. So make sure you have a good enough space to do what you want to do. For this design, I'm just going to show you how to do the 6th floor version, and you can work out how to expand it if you want to. Okay guys, before we get started, just a little bit of information. Really keen to get some more people following me on Twitter. I'm going to try and get the Twitter happening a bit, and for those of you that have been following, you may notice I've been doing a few live stream tests, and I'm looking forward to doing a bit of live streaming. The quality here in Australia for uploads isn't great at the moment where I live, but I'm certainly keen to do some. So if you guys want to follow me on Twitter to keep up to date with what I'm doing, and yeah, check me out on Twitch as well, because that's where I'll be doing some streaming. And have a look at my other links too, they'll all be in the description below, so check them out before you start. Alright, so I've prepared a 17 by 15 by 14 deep hole, and I'm just going to start this out by creating the central line for the signal. Now this is the 17 block side, and I'm just going to find the center, which is there, and then I'm going to go up by 4 blocks, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is going to be where our central signal line goes. So this line will be connected to all the various cells and will provide the timing signal for each cell to operate. So I'm just going to break that first block there. Now this line will extend depending on how many floors you want to do, so what I'm going to do is just build one cell first, and then you can make as many as you like, and then we can go from there. Okay, so before we build one of these cells, I just want to explain how they interact with the elevator. So we've got two different sides here. The side on my right handles floors below the center point of the elevator. Now by center point I mean the vertical center point, which is about here somewhere, I think. And why they do that is that there's two sets of pistons, one set at the bottom and one set at the top. Now if you were to release those set of pistons at exactly the same time, they would both make their way to the center, where they would hit each other and return back to their original position. Because of this, if we want to have any floors above that center point, we need to delay that set of pistons. If we want to have any floors below that center point, we need to delay that set of pistons. So for that reason, we have two different sides. All the cells on this side will interact with this bottom set of pistons, and all the cells on this side will interact with the top set. And for that reason, we can get floors all the way up the whole elevator without any worry. Okay, so we're going to make the first cell here. Now to start, we're going to go from this center line that we put in. This is the front here. So from this center line, we're going to come in 2 blocks from the edge there, so 1, 2 blocks in, and on the 3rd block in, we're going to go down below the center line, like this, and we're going to put a repeater here, and that's going to be where the signal gets delivered from to begin. So here we're going to put a block there and a block there like that. Then we're going to put some repeaters on top here and set them to 3, and one here and set that to 2. Then we're going to put a block here like that, and then 2 blocks on top like this. Next we're going to put a torch here and another block there, and then one more block there. We're going to put a redstone dot there, and we're going to put a hopper facing into another hopper like this, and then we're going to actually add another couple blocks here like this with a comparator facing that way and a repeater facing that way. We're going to put a piston here and a redstone block on that piston, and then we're going to put, let's say, one item in that like that, and that'll extend there, and that is the first part. Okay, so this first part is what we use to determine which floor we have selected. In here we have one item, therefore this is floor number 1. If you put another item in, it becomes floor number 2, and so on. So now that we have the floor selection mechanism, we can hook it up to the delay timer. So first off, what we're going to do is put one more block underneath the piston here like that, and then we're going to get a slab back, and it has to be a slab here. We put a slab underneath like this, and redstone on the top there. That will provide a reset so that we don't have the floor stuck when we select it. Next we're going to add a piston here, sticky piston, and we're going to do another sticky piston facing the other way. Let's do that, and we'll put a redstone block in there. Then we're going to put a hopper here and here, make sure they're facing into each other like that, and then we're going to add some more blocks just here. We can get rid of that one, and we want another block there and one there. So as you can see, we've reached this side now. Now what we want to do is put a comparator here and a piece of redstone there like that, and then 2 repeaters just like that. Now in this hopper we can put our timer. So this timer will count down for 62 blocks if the first, or in this case the third floor is selected. So if we get rid of that, you can see it starts the timer and the timer is counting down. The floor selection has reset already, and once this is finished, it will release one of the set of pistons. So that's how you do one cell, and now all we have to do is duplicate it and move it over another couple blocks. So each cell takes 4 blocks, so if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, so that's your 4 blocks. So you'd start off with a space, so we'll leave a space here, and we can begin with the next lot of cells. Okay, so I've now got 3 cells, and just as I was going, a little optimization here is where there was previously 2 repeaters like this. We can take that repeater out and just put a block there. It does the same thing, so that'll help to reduce the amount of resources needed. Now I'm just going to do the same on the other side. Alright, so I've completed the other side too. Now it's important to note that they are mirrors of each other, so here we can see comparator lines up here, and when we go across to the other side, comparator lines up there. So that is important, so make sure that you do it that way. So it's a complete mirror flip. Now also we've got these little bits which I'm going to build now. What these will do is they're used to carry the signal up and deliver it to the pistons. So here's where we're at the moment with this cell, and what we're going to do is, first off, we're going to put a block above this so that we don't get any interference. Piece of wire there, redstone dust there, another block here with a repeater, and then we're going to go up to this block, and then we're going to staircase up like that with 3 blocks there, put a piston there and a block there with a repeater on top and a block on top of that, and then we're going to go like this, and that should be the default state, which is on. So I've done that already to the rest of these, and they should all line up perfectly as well. Okay, so now what we need to do is make the carry-through lines, and these lines are going to come underneath here and they're going to collect the signal from these redstone blocks. So before we have we don't have anywhere to put them just yet, so we're just going to make the lines and have them ready to take the signal from. So where these redstone blocks are at the moment, in their default state, which is off, now that should mean that this line here is on and this piston's extended. So when it's like that, we go below the redstone block here, we can put a block down like that, then we can come up to here, we'll go across till we hit this redstone block, we'll go down, up again, across till we hit this redstone block, we'll go down, and then up again. Now when we put this redstone on here, it should be off all the way along. If it's not off, then one of your cells is misaligned or something like that, so make sure that's off, and that's what we're going to use to carry that signal up. Okay, so I've just completed that second line, so now I've got two, and this is why we want the slabs. So the signal cannot go down from this slab, but it can go up. If it wants to go up, that's fine, it doesn't cause any problems. But if it wants to go down, if you had a full block there, it would cause issues. So that's why it wants to be a slab. Okay, so the brain's actually coming along quite nicely. This operates at the moment to provide signals where necessary. All we need to do is apply a signal length to the central line here, and then it will work out which timer to use for that signal length. Now what I've done just briefly here is put some color coding on these. Now the yellow stained clay will be interacting with the bottom set of pistons of the elevator we choose, and the orange stained clay, which is this one and this one around this side, will be interacting with the top set of pistons for the elevator we choose. So what we do now is we can select whether we go the 1x1 platform or the 2x2 platform, and I'm going to try and do both of them. So what we'll do is we'll stop here and I'll start making the 1x1 platform. If you want to skip ahead to the 2x2 platform, you can press the link now and we'll see you there. Okay, so this will be the 1x1 platform or the 3x4 elevator, and I'm just going to knock one up really quickly. Alright, so here I've just gone ahead and built my 3x4 elevator, super simple design. I just built the main skeleton of it. Now if you haven't seen it, you should check out the video on how to build this. I just want to try and save the length on this tutorial. So go and watch that video if you don't know how to make one of these, but basically it's just this little pattern here, comparators here, and a couple levels of comparators all the way up. This is the basic design, and what we're going to do is we're going to use this to add to make it multi-floor capable, so I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I've decided the top of my elevator is going to be right here. Now my comparator level is here, and I actually don't need these torches above that anymore because I don't have any more comparators to power. Now it is important to note that with these elevators, if your comparator is up too high, if it's up quite high up here for example, it may cause this piston not to work properly, so to avoid that you just need to drop this level down to say the next available torch, which might be there for example, just to give you enough room to accommodate these pistons at the top. So now that I've removed that side of torches, I'm just going to put the pistons in place, so sticky pistons, and I'm going to put one block here like this, and for the moment I'm just going to put a bit of redstone there, and then a block up there like that, a block on top of this wire so it doesn't connect, and then I'm just going to have a torch here, and that'll just hold these pistons still. So there we go, like that, and I'm going to do the same at the bottom. So at the bottom like this and like that, and I've got a switch on the side here to turn it on and off when I want. So you can see that moves all the way up. So let's get that back. there. We'll also have just a block off to the front here with a torch on that, and that block is going to be what the yellow line here connects to and the yellow line there connects to. So let's just leave it like that for the moment. Okay, so next I'm going to work out where the floor is here, and I'm just going to put 2 blocks there like that, then a redstone, and this is where our elevator sits right now. So if we go out from here like that, we can see that that's the correct level for our floor, and then we're going to build in the rest of the elevator. So we'll get some trapdoors like that, another redstone block here, and 1 more block on top of that, and so that's where our elevator is. Now we can use that elevator floor, this base floor, to work out where our buttons want to go. So I'm just going to grab a lamp, and the lamp I want to put it 2 blocks high like this, just so it's at a nice height to push the button, and let's put a stone button on that as well, like this. Now what we need to do from that is go across by 2 blocks and put a repeater on those like that, and then we'll have 1 more block here with a piece of dust on it and a torch on the end. Now this is going to be how we work out where the rest of all our buttons need to be, and we're going to do that by going up by 2 blocks like that, putting another torch here. We can see that powers that line. We can go up by another block like that, put a torch on this side and some dust there, and now that unpowers it. So we know that here is another button position, so we can put a bit of dust there like that, and 2 repeaters here like that, and we can control this torch. So again, here's where the button will be for the next floor, and let's put it on the front here like this. So we're just going to repeat that up wherever we want floors. If there's no floors there, we can just skip these repeater sections. So for example, we can just go up to here, we can go there, up to here, and we can go there like that, and we can just keep going up till we get to the floor we want. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 1 floor there, 1 floor there, then I'm just going to pick a spot up here, and let's make a floor here. Now this might not fit within this configuration. If it doesn't, all we need to do is connect wherever we put the lamp. If the lamp was put here, for example, we just need to make sure it connects to this torch system, that's all. So I'm going to continue this up and see where we get when we connect it. Okay, so after making my way up to where I put my button there, I can see that it's not quite the same level as these are. As you can see, the lamp is here on this one, and on this one it is a block lower, but that doesn't matter, we can still use this block. So if we put the repeater in here like that, that will still work. Just a couple of things it's important to note. Be careful that your torches don't actually end up too high. So if your torch ends up here, it's in the wrong position. You don't want it powering this comparator level. So if anywhere up this torch line you get to a comparator and it's powering it, you want to readjust your torch tower so it doesn't power it. So let's just take that back and put it there. Another thing is, just take note where we're putting a button on this side at the moment. There will also be a button on the other side. Now the one on the other side is wired up slightly differently. So if you look at this side here, we can see this is where this torch tower is. That one requires these 2 repeaters and this configuration. On the other side, when we do the button, all it will need is 1 block and a torch on that 1 block. And then we just have the dust there like that. So just keep that in mind for that side, and remember that if you do have your buttons in odd positions or your floor in odd positions that don't fit the pattern, you'll just have to connect them up appropriately. Okay, so I'm going to do the other side now. So I'm going to put my lamp there, button goes there, and we'll make sure that this is at the right level here. We'll have a torch there, and we'll just go up like we did before, torch here, and up like we did before, torch here, and then we'll just get some redstone, join that up like this. Okay, so that button's in the right position now, and we've got another button here, perfect. So that goes in the right position. When we get up to this button, we can see that we'll have to make some adjustments. Okay, so we can see now I've got up to this button position, and because this button is one block lower than the rest, it doesn't quite line up with my redstone. So that's not an issue. All we have to do is connect it in a different way. So for this one, you could do a few different options. One way is to just do this and just swing it around like that, and now that will connect. The other way to do it is just by going directly across the top of the lamp. Of course, that way you would have to leave that open so you would see it. That works as well. So as you can see, it doesn't really matter where they are, you just need to make sure they're still connected. So I'm going to do that this way, and yes, it will make it a little bit wider, but that's not a big issue for me. Okay, so just to show it can be done, I've changed the floor height here to 2 blocks high. So that's the absolute minimum you could use, and as you can see where this button is, it doesn't line up with my pattern again, so I've just used a torch here with another torch and just to get it over to the signal. So again, that will still work. We just get a button on it, and you can see that it still powers the line all the way down. So on the other side, same problem. The lamp would normally be in this position, but because it's 2 blocks lower, just had to get a little bit creative, put a torch here with another torch there to hook it up to the system, and when I press the button on that one, it still operates the torch tower. Okay, so now we've got the position of all the floors. There's one here, one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. Now we can put in the call line for the top set of pistons, these set here, and on this design all we're going to do is start from diagonally across from this here, and we're just going to go up to the top, and we're just going to do a torch tower here. So we'll just start from this block here, torch it up like that, go all the way to the top. Alright, so I've done my torch tower all the way to the top here. Now we can actually connect it up to this section here. Now to do that, I'm just going to go across with 2 blocks like that, and I'm going to put a repeater. Repeater's going to go here, and we're going to set that to 3 ticks. Oop, 3. Hook that up to this torch, and now we can get rid of this torch and do it that way. Now if your torch tower, if you started it in a particular position and this torch here is off at the moment, just run it down to the next available on torch, because this wants to be on when we have the pistons staying up here, and only when we disable this torch will these pistons move. Okay guys, so there's only a few more steps to go and this one will be ready. So what we want to do now is connect up this floor selection button to a counter. To do that, we're going to go down to the ground floor here. We're going to extend this torch line down just a little bit, so 1 more block. Then we're going to come down to here and put a dot of redstone. Now that one needs to be off. If when your elevator turns on, if this is flashing, then it may be in the wrong spot and you may have to move it. So from there we're going to go sticky piston, block on top, another block with the repeater, set the repeater to 2, put a block above that there like that, with a torch on the side. Then we're going to put our hoppers in. So our hopper's going to go here and here. Make sure they're facing into each other. Then under that hopper there we're going to put another block and come out this way. Then we're going to put a comparator on that and into a sticky piston here like this. We're going to put our redstone block there like that, and we're going to put another sticky piston facing that way. Next we're going to put another block here like this, and on that block we're going to put a torch, and then we're going to come down just a little bit here and we're going to put a repeater, and then from here we're going to put another block there and another torch there, and then we're going to go down a step. We're going to put another repeater, another sticky piston there with a block on top and a repeater set to 2, and we're going to go from here and then go up to here, and then we're going to connect it to this torch here, which should be on at the moment, like this. There we go. So now what we need to do is we need to put a number of items in here that correspond to how many floors we have. So we know we have 6, so we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when we go around to the side here and push this button, we can see that this is now 5 and 1 item has been transferred in. Now when we go over here and we press this button, the system flicks over and is reset, empties this hopper and starts the... So now we've got 6 back in this one again. So this is going to be our little switch, and we're going to connect that to the brain now. Alright, so this is our central line, and this is where we want the signal length to be transferred. So to hook that up, what we want to do is go up from this repeater here and connect it to this position right here. So when these pistons swap, we want to pull a signal out from the redstone block just here and bring it down to that central line. So I'm just going to do that. Doesn't have to be pretty, just make your way down. Like this, like that. And then I'm just going to run redstone down here. And now that's connected. And just a little bit of an optimization if you want to save yourself some repeaters here. You can actually replace one of these repeaters with redstone on the top of this, like that. Just watch that you don't have anything accidentally powering it, like this example. If you put redstone there, it will be powered here. So we don't want that to happen, so I might just leave that one the way it is. But you can save a couple repeaters here just by doing that. So go ahead and do that if you like. You can just knock out those like that. And that one we'll leave there. We'll get rid of that one. Just a little bit of an optimization there for you. Okay, just to make sure things are going well, let's just check out these floor selection cells to see if they work. So in here I've got 1 item, in this one I've got 2, and in this one I've got 3. So if we go up to the top here and we press the floor selection button twice, 1 and 2, we can see that it's transferred 2 items into this hopper. So now when we press this button, we should see that one switch over, and it is currently running. Now when it gets down to 0 items, you can see here this thing will trigger, and that'll send a pulse up to whatever piston set it's connected to. So let's put them back in. Okay, so that's working. Now it's just a matter of connecting the orange and the yellow circuits up to their respective pistons. Okay, so this one is easy enough. Let's just connect this up like this. And we'll just run some redstone along that. Just up to here. So now all of these have access to this torch. So this is the right hand side, so the front is there, and so that's going to affect the pistons at the bottom here. And we also need to connect up this other side here, so this yellow section will go up like this, and let's go up this way out to here and like that, back down like this. Okay, so that's those. Now I'm just going to set these to 4 ticks on here, and I'll do the same on this side, so 4 ticks. Okay, so that's the yellow side hooked up. Now we just need to hook up the orange side. The orange side, we'll do this one here first, so we'll go up again from here, and we'll go up. Actually, let's just go down like that. Go up to here. We want to connect to this torch tower we made earlier, so let's go to Let's go up along here. Like that. And we'll just put a repeater going into this block. We'll put a block here like this, and then we'll put a bit of redstone along here, and we'll pull a repeater signal out of that block, and we'll go into this like that, and then we'll come down this little staircase down to there. So the reason why I put this block here is because if this is powering here and we had redstone, it would create a loop. So we'll put a block there instead, and that will still transfer into there. Alright, so just through a little bit of trial and error, I've worked out that my first floor requires 36 items worth of delay for the bottom set of pistons to let the elevator sit right here. Now that I have that figure, I can actually go ahead and work out the second level. So it's important when you do this part of it to make sure that you only have one floor, one type of floor for each number. So if you've got doubled up numbers here, it might screw it up a little bit. So as you can see, I've got floors 1 through to 6, and there's no double ups. So now what I'm going to do is work out how far I need to do for the second floor. So from the first floor here, we're 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks we need to go up. So if we want to go up 4 blocks, we need to take away two items per block worth of delay from these pistons. So at the moment we're at 36, so if we take away 8 items and we go to 28, let's give that a try. So 1 and 2 for floor number 2, and then when we hit this button, this one here will switch. There we go. It'll start the pistons at the top right away. They're on their way down, and it will get to the bottom here, and these ones will start. There we are, and perfect. We made it to the second floor, so we know that number's correct. Now just another thing is, I've noticed that on the second floor, when we have the button in line with this comparator, it does cause a couple issues when you press the button. Namely, it stops the comparator for a moment, which can cause some sync issues. So if we press that, you can see the comparator stops and starts again, so that's not a good thing. So we're just going to tweak this a little bit. Now in this configuration, we're just going to come out from here, put a torch on this side, bend around the corner like this with dust, put a dot on top and a torch on that side, and then we can get rid of this torch, we can get rid of this torch, and we can put in some repeaters here instead. It's not very clean, but it does do the job. We can actually replace this with a block if we want to, and yeah, so that's how that works. Up here I have a different situation. This button also interacts with the comparator, which we don't want, but it's in a different position. So to get creative here, what I'm going to do is knock these out, put a torch there, a block on top, torch there, then we're going to put a repeater here, and then we're going to do the same. So block out to here, little corner around there, put the torch on that side, and some dust on that. We can get rid of this, put a repeater here, and then that will work as well. So just a little tweak there. Make sure that in your situation it's not interfering with your comparator, because it can cause some issues. Okay, so something interesting here. This floor that I chose happens to be precisely in the middle between these two pistons, and what happens is, if you were going to put no items in this timer, it would not work. It has to have at least a couple in there, otherwise it double pulses and it doesn't work. So what this meant though is that it would never actually get to the right level. So in order to compensate for the lack of items in here, I've just added a small delay here with a couple repeaters, and the repeaters just go to this set of pistons to add a little bit of delay to them, and that won't affect the system adversely. It would just mean that these need to be adjusted a little bit if you've already done them. So now that I've done that, we can actually get to this level here, so that's good. If I hit level number 3 like this side over here will work, which is that one. There we go. And we can hear the pistons coming down and up. So that still works as well. So we've got that 2 height difference, which is nice and easy. Now it's just to do a couple more floors and we're about done. Okay, there we go. So I've completed all the floors now, up to 6, and yep, it works perfectly. And yeah, so hopefully that one helped you guys out. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Now what I'll be doing next is the same thing but for the 2x2 version, so if you want to see that, stick around and we can do the 2x2 version. Alright, so here we are back to the brain, and we're going to start by doing the 2x2 elevator and hook it up to this system. Before we begin, just a couple adjustments to this design. You can actually get rid of some of these repeaters here and just put redstone across there, like this. You do need to be mindful that they don't get powered inadvertently by the elevator that we're about to build, but it's just another way to save a bit of resources. Okay, so for the 2x2 I've just started 3 blocks up from here, so 1, 2 and 3, and I've just put the base of the elevator here. Now if you want to watch how to build this elevator, check out this video here and you can build the elevator. For now, just to keep this tutorial a bit shorter, I'm going to just go ahead and build this. Okay, so while building this 2x2 platform here, we notice that we run into the edge here, and I need to build in this section. Of course, this brain was designed for a odd number elevator, and because we've got an even number elevator we need to make some more room. So all I'm going to do here is just move these back just a little bit. So I'll drop them down a level and we'll move them back, and that way we won't have to worry about the wires getting crossed. We can still run this at the same height. So we can still run that there, and we'll just chuck this back on again, on top there, set that to 4, take this one off, set that to 4, and same with this one. Set that to 4, there we go. And now we've got room so we can continue with the elevator. Okay guys, so here we go. I've got the main body of this elevator knocked out. So here we are, just take a quick look on it. Pretty standard stuff. And at the front here we've got the 4 repeaters. They go into a block in the back here and into these 2 at the front to hold the pistons still. And to test it, we can see that it works currently. So now what we need to do is chuck some buttons on and make this multi-floor capable. Okay, so my elevator's down the bottom now, and I've just switched it off on the back here so it's not pulsing at the moment. And we're just going to very quickly lay out where the bottom floor will be. So we'll put 2 blocks on top like this, and then we'll put the redstone on. And here we go. So there is our ground floor. As you can see, it's level with the ground, which is good. We'll get our trapdoors. Put our trapdoors in. Like that. Just like that. And put one more layer on top. Okay, so we know that's where our elevator is going to sit. So now we can put in our buttons. Okay, so for the buttons for these floors, we're going to just do this. So we go up on the ground floor here, put a block here with the button on it, on the other side, and then off that button we're going to go 3 blocks here like this, repeater here, redstone here and here, and a torch on the end. And we're going to go up the tower here, so we're going to put another block there like that with a torch on it, and redstone on top of that, and then back to the other side, torch on that, redstone there, back to the other side, torch on that, redstone there, and so on all the way up. And then we're going to pick where the other floors are that we want, so let's really test it here. We'll put one here, we'll put one here, we'll put one there, one there, one there, and that yeah, that'll do. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, cool. So we'll do that, and we'll just hook them all up. Okay, so far this has been pretty easy to rig up. Just these guys here we did a little different. So if this is how it's supposed to be, this floor is obviously at a different level, so we've just interacted with the torch a little bit differently. I've just put a torch under here, up to this torch. The main thing is you want to make sure that they connect okay and don't get interference from here or that repeater there, that one. And as long as this part here is off, it should only be on when you push the button. So if we were to push the button here, you can see that signal changes. So I've done the same all the way up here, and because this elevator is symmetrical on these parts, we can just do the exact same over this side. Alright, so on the back here I've just made this short little torch tower. It goes all the way up to the top, right up to here, and the topmost torch default state is on, and I've just got it connected to the outside of the top layer of obsidian here, and that will just make these pistons stop like that, and when we unpower that torch it will release them, so we can use that for the brain system. So the configuration for the bottom here may be slightly different than the tutorial that you watched. Basically all I've done is, I think in the tutorial I have blocks down like this with torches on top. So I've just got rid of those torches and put the power directly to these blocks here. This one's being powered, which will then in turn power this little dot of redstone here, and because I'm doing that I've got one little torch just here, and we can use that torch to connect up to these lines here, and we can use this tower here to connect up to the other lines. Alright, so before we connect those lines up, we're just going to make the floor selection counter. So to do that, from this side here, which is the left side, we're going to put an extra torch down here a little bit further, put a torch here with the redstone on top, and we're going to put another block here with a redstone on top. Then we're going to put a slab here with a repeater going into a piston with a block on top, and we're going to have a repeater coming out that side set to 2, and then we're going to have a torch on a block like this. We'll get our hoppers, put our hoppers here, one there, make sure they're facing into each other. Then under the hopper we're going to put a block and another one out like this. We're going to get our comparator, put a comparator facing that way into a sticky piston. Sticky piston goes up to here. We'll put a redstone block on that piston and another piston like this facing that way. So then from there what we're going to do is put another little block here, and we're going to put another block here, put a torch on this side here, and we'll put a repeater, let's get that one, that just there, and then we're going to put another block out to here with a torch on that, and then we're going to go from around the corner here, pull the signal off this torch, so we'll go like this, and we'll go down and across like that, grab this signal, and we're just going to hook it into a piston with a block on top and a repeater set to 2, and then just a little bit of redstone to this torch like that, and that's going to be our counter. So if we put 6 items in here because we have 6 floors at the moment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we go up to the top here. Now if we press this once, we check the hoppers, 1 item comes over, we press it twice, 2 items, and if we press this side, oh, the system is reset. So we can use that to hook up to the wiring next. Okay, so here is our central line. This is where we want all the signals to come to run the brain here, and we're going to connect this up pretty simply. We're just going to run up from here, and we're going to pull a signal off right here. So when these pistons move, we're going to get the signal off that, and we're going to take it down to meet this repeater here. So let's just do that quickly, and that will do. Doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. So that meets up there just fine, and now we're ready to connect up our lines. Okay, so the yellow lines here, which is on the left hand side if you're looking at the elevator, they're going to connect to this block here, and this yellow line is going to connect to this block as well. So let's do that very quickly. So we'll walk up the wall here a little bit, and we'll go up a little bit higher, up a little bit higher, and off to the side here like this. And we're just going to put a repeater here so that we don't connect those wires, and just drag the redstone down to this block here. So that's that side done, and we're just going to do this side as well. So we'll go over here, and we might do this. And here we might also put just a couple repeaters. It's a little bit messy, but we can use that. And then just a bit of redstone here like this. And we might just put another little repeater here facing that way, and go like that. And we notice here this is about to join up, so I'm just going to put a block there to make sure they don't, and that will work for that part. Next we'll do this orange section. So the orange section we're going to connect to this torch tower here, which goes all the way to the very top there. So this one should be pretty straightforward. Let's get rid of that button, and we'll put a block here. We'll get redstone from here, and we'll put a repeater here so they don't join up. Actually, let's just use a block here, and we'll go across like that, like this. Another block here so that doesn't join up. Across there like that, and there, and there, and there, into that block. And then we've got our final orange signal down here, and we'll pull that up. Let's do this. So we'll go up like that, up to there, and we'll just go into it like that. Okay. So that's connected up there too. So that should be all connected. Now we just need to set up our floors. Okay, first important thing to do when setting up the floors, make sure that your floor selection has the correct floor number in it. Try not to have any double ups. So that's got that needs to be a 2. This one needs to be a 3, that's cool. And we've got a 4, so that needs to be a 4. 4 like that. This one here should be 5. And last one here should be 6. Like that. That way there's no confusion there. And the final thing here is we've got to adjust these timings. So I'm just going to try this. Let's try 26. Okay, we'll see what happens. So if we go over here, dial floor number 1, and hit this button. Now we can see that floor got selected, so that's good. It's going to run through this timer, and at the end of the timer it's going to start these pistons. The ones at the top have already started, and they're on the way down. And let's see whether we need to add more time or not. Yep, I can tell already we do. But what's interesting is we've accidentally found what floor number 2 should be. So let's get that. So floor number 2 should be 26, so that's cool. So we'll put 26 into there. Now let's see if we can work out how much floor number 1 should be. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 floors lower. So we need to add another 12 blocks worth of delay. So let's go like this. And let's give that a try now. So we'll hit floor number 1, hit the button here. Should see that work, which it did. And it's counting down slowly here. So the top set of pistons have been sent on their way. They're on their way down. And let's see how we go this time. Okay, it's on its way down. Perfect. Well, that's good. So we've got floor number 1, floor number 2. Now it's just to do the last couple of floors. Alright, so I've finished all these floors and made it to the top level here. One thing to note is make sure these repeaters are set to 4 ticks, because if they're set to this, they won't work. So make sure they're set to 4. And also I had to play a little bit, and it actually meant that this floor has an odd number where normally it's even, so that's an odd number, and this one is odd number as well. So I just played around a little bit. I could see that it wasn't quite getting to the right level, and when I put 2 extra items in, it was going past it, so I knew that I just had to put 1 item in instead. So that's pretty cool. You've got really fine adjustment, which is awesome. And as you can see, we've got floors at all different levels, and that one works as well. Okay, so hopefully you followed this tutorial okay. I will provide a download link for both of the elevator designs I've done in this tutorial, both this 2x2 platform and the 1x1 platform. I'll just copy them into here with MC Edit so that they're both in here, and feel free to download them and take a look. If you're having troubles, have a look through this one if you can, because this one currently works, to see if you can work out what's wrong. If not, let me know and I'll do my best to help you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure to check me out on Twitter as well. Trying to get my followers up on Twitter so that I can post some information on there, and looking to do some live stream stuff as well, so keep in touch with that. There's links in the description for all those things, and we'll see you again next time.